Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you're listening in the comments. The boutonniere felt heavy in my jacket pocket as I pushed through the country club's glass doors. White roses lined every surface, their perfume mixing with expensive cologne and champagne. I'd spent $42,000 on this venue alone. The marble floors gleamed under crystal chandeliers that cost more than most people earned in a year. "Dad," my son's voice cut through the elegant music. "What are you doing here?" I stopped mid-step, still holding the envelope I'd brought. Inside was a check for $25,000, their honeymoon gift. Marcus stood near the entrance in his custom tuxedo, the one I'd paid $3,000 to have tailored. His face went pale. "It's your wedding day, son." My voice sounded smaller than I intended. "I wanted to congratulate you and Vanessa." Marcus glanced at the guests watching us. Women in silk dresses whispered behind champagne flutes. Men in expensive suits pretended not to stare while clearly listening to every word. "Dad, I'm sorry." He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "You weren't invited. This is family only." The words hit like a punch to the chest. 28 years of bedtime stories, little league games, and college tuition collapsed into that single sentence. 28 years of choosing his happiness over my comfort, his future over my retirement. "I paid for this wedding, Marcus." The words came out steady, factual. "Every flower, every plate, the tuxedo you're wearing." His jaw tightened. "Money doesn't buy you a place here, Dad. You don't understand the kind of people Vanessa's family knows." Behind him, Vanessa appeared in her wedding dress. $8,000 of imported silk and lace. Her eyes widened when she saw me, then narrowed with something that looked like disgust. "Marcus, is there a problem?" Her voice carried the practiced sweetness of someone used to getting what they wanted. "My father showed up uninvited." Marcus turned away from me slightly. "I'm handling it." Around us, conversations had stopped entirely. The string quartet played on, but everyone was focused on the drama unfolding near the entrance. A photographer lowered his camera. The wedding coordinator froze with her clipboard. "I see." I set the envelope on a nearby table between untouched champagne flutes. "I wouldn't want to embarrass you." Vanessa's mother approached, her designer heels clicking against marble. Her face held the kind of polite concern that masked judgment. "Is everything all right here?" "Everything's fine, Mrs. Patterson." Marcus smiled at her with forced brightness. "Just a small misunderstanding. Your father." She looked me up and down, taking in my department store suit and practical shoes. How unfortunate. Perhaps he could wait outside until after the ceremony. The suggestion hung in the air like poison. Wait outside the wedding I'd funded while they celebrated inside. Stand in the parking lot, like hired help who'd finished their work. That won't be necessary. I studied Marcus's face, searching for the little boy who used to hug me goodnight. "You're right, son. I don't belong here." The walk to the exit stretched forever. My shoes felt heavy against pristine floors. Behind me, I heard Vanessa whisper something to Marcus. Someone laughed, high and artificial. Outside, spring air hit my lungs like freedom. The parking lot stretched before me, filled with luxury cars that cost more than my annual salary. My 10-year-old sedan sat in the far corner, exactly where it belonged in their world. I reached for my phone, fingers steady despite everything. 26 years of running my own accounting firm had taught me patience. 26 years of loving an ungrateful son had taught me the true value of loyalty. The screen lit up with my contact list. I scrolled past family and friends until I found what I needed. Anderson Financial Services appeared on screen. My thumb hovered over the call button. Inside that country club, my son was celebrating his new life without me. Outside, I was about to begin mine without him. The phone rang once before someone answered. "Anderson Financial, this is Victoria speaking." "Victoria, this is Thomas Wright, account number 883-1947. I need to initiate stop payments on several authorized transactions immediately." Behind me, the country club's heavy doors sealed with the finality of a vault closing. Wedding music faded to whispers as I crossed asphalt toward my car. "Of course, Mr. Wright. Let me pull up your account." Keyboard clicks filled the pause. Can you verify your social security number and mother's maiden name? I provided the information while watching more guests arrive through the venue's entrance. Men adjusting expensive cufflinks, women in jewelry that sparkled like small fortunes. None of them knowing what was about to unfold. Thank you. I see several large transactions from this week. Which one specifically? All wedding-related payments. Each item rolled off my tongue like inventory. Venue rental, catering deposit, floral arrangements, photography services, music services, dress boutique charges. Victoria's professional tone shifted slightly. Sir, these are significant amounts. Are you certain? Completely certain. There's been a change in circumstances. My voice remained steady. Implementation needs to be immediate. I'll need authorization codes for transactions over $5,000. I recited them from memory. 26 years of managing other people's finances had taught me to remember every important number, every contract detail, every payment authorization. Stop payments are processing now. Confirmation numbers are being generated. Is there anything else, Mr. Wright? That covers the banking side. Thank you, Victoria. The next call went to Riverside Catering, the company Marcus had insisted on despite their astronomical prices. Riverside Catering, this is Anthony speaking. Anthony, this is Thomas Wright. I'm calling about the Patterson Wright wedding reception happening right now. Oh yes, Mr. Wright. Everything is going beautifully so far. The appetizers are getting wonderful responses. I'm afraid there's been a financial complication. Payment authorization has been revoked. You'll want to protect your equipment and remaining food service. Silence stretched between us. Then Anthony's voice came back, confused and worried. I'm sorry. What exactly are you saying? The bank has stopped payment on your contract. Effective immediately. I suggest you secure your assets before serving the main course. But we're in the middle of service. The entrees are plating right now. That's unfortunate timing. My voice remained professional. You might want to speak with the wedding party about alternative payment arrangements. Anthony disconnected without another word. Smart man. The florist answered on the second ring. Belmont Blooms, this is Caroline speaking. Caroline, this is Thomas Wright regarding the Patterson Wright wedding flowers. Mr. Wright, the arrangements look absolutely stunning. Mrs. Patterson was thrilled with the orchids. There's been a payment issue. Bank authorization has been canceled. You'll need to collect your arrangements if you want to salvage any value. Collect them? But they're integrated into the entire venue design. Business is business, Caroline. I suggest you move quickly. For more calls followed. Photography services, string quartet, even the dress boutique where Vanessa had spent $8,000. Each conversation followed the same pattern. Professional courtesy, then growing alarm, then rushed disconnections as vendors scrambled to protect themselves. My phone showed 4:15 when the last call ended. Through the country club windows, I could see the cocktail reception in progress. Crystal glasses raised in toasts, elegant figures moving across polished floors. All of it about to change dramatically. I started the engine and backed out of my parking space. Driving slowly past the entrance, I caught glimpses of the celebration through tall windows. Marcus stood near the main entrance, radiant in his expensive tuxedo, accepting congratulations from a steady stream of relatives. His laugh carried across the ballroom, bright and carefree. The sound would change soon enough. My phone buzzed with an incoming call. Marcus's number appeared on screen. I let it ring through to voicemail. Not yet. Let him wait. Let him wonder what was happening as his perfect wedding started falling apart around him. Dashboard clock read 4:20 when the first truck arrived. Belmont Blooms painted an elegant script across white paneling. Caroline emerged with 2 assistants, carrying empty containers with businesslike efficiency. Through the venue windows, I could see the cocktail reception in full swing. Crystal glasses caught chandelier light as guests mingled around the imported orchids Marcus had specifically requested. Vanessa gestured broadly to a circle of her mother's friends, probably explaining her new husband's promising career in commercial real estate. Neither bride nor groom noticed the florist team entering through side doors. Caroline walked directly toward the main altar arrangement. Her assistants flanked the smaller displays throughout the room. Guests began turning, confusion replacing celebration as the team started dismantling centerpieces. "Excuse me." Vanessa approached Caroline with a practiced smile. "We're in the middle of our reception. Whatever you need can wait until later." Caroline straightened, holding a bundle of white orchids. "Ma'am, I'm Caroline from Belmont Blooms. Payment authorization for these arrangements was canceled 40 minutes ago. I need to recover our property." Vanessa's smile flickered but held. "That's impossible. Everything was paid for weeks ago. The account holder, Thomas Wright, contacted us directly. All payments have been stopped." Caroline continued removing flowers with professional detachment. "I have written authorization to collect our arrangements." Color drained from Vanessa's face. Around them, guests had stopped talking entirely. Marcus crossed the room in quick strides, his expression shifting from confusion to anger. What exactly is happening here? His voice carried authority he'd learned from expensive business seminars. "Payment issues, sir. We're collecting unpaid merchandise." Caroline's assistant began wrapping the altar arrangement in protective plastic. "This is completely unacceptable." Marcus's face flushed red. "Get your manager on the phone immediately." "I am the manager. Our contract clearly states that canceled payments void service obligations." Riverside catering van pulled up outside as Caroline's team continued their systematic removal. Anthony emerged with 3 staff members, their faces grim with purpose. They entered through the main doors, making no attempt at discretion. Vanessa watched the orchids disappear into containers, her composure cracking like fine china. There has to be some mistake. Marcus's father wouldn't do this. "Ma'am, we need to cease food service immediately." Anthony approached with clipboard in hand. Payment authorization was revoked at 4:15. We're contractually obligated to protect our equipment and remaining inventory. Marcus stepped between Anthony and Vanessa, his voice rising. "This is my wedding reception. You can't just stop service in the middle of an event." "Sir, we can and we must. When payment authorization gets canceled, standard procedure requires immediate asset protection." Anthony signaled his team, who began covering serving stations with white cloths. Guests shuffled nervously, champagne glasses untouched in their hands. Conversations had devolved into worried whispers. Someone's phone rang, sharp and intrusive in the tense atmosphere. The string quartet stopped playing when their equipment coordinator arrived. Microphones went silent. Speakers powered down. Marcus stood frozen in the center of his collapsing reception, expensive tuxedo pristine amid the chaos of disappearing services. "This can't be happening. Not today. Not like this." "Marcus, what kind of arrangement did your family make?" Vanessa's mother appeared at her daughter's side, her voice sharp with suspicion. "Who authorized these payments?" "I don't know." Marcus pulled out his phone with trembling fingers. "Everything was supposed to be handled by my father." Mrs. Patterson's face hardened. "Your father? The man we just asked to leave? The man in the cheap suit, who didn't even receive an invitation?" The venue coordinator appeared, phone pressed to her ear, speaking in urgent whispers. She approached Vanessa with obvious reluctance. "Mrs. Wright, I've just spoken with our accounting department. All payments for today's event originated from Thomas Wright. That account holder has revoked authorization for every transaction." Vanessa's eyes widened with understanding and horror. "Marcus, what did you do? Your father paid for everything. He offered to help with costs." Marcus's voice cracked. "I didn't realize it was everything." "You didn't realize?" Mrs. Patterson's voice rose. "You accepted $40,000 for a venue and didn't think to mention it?" My phone buzzed again. Marcus's name lighting up the screen for the 3rd time in 10 minutes. Through the country club windows, I could see him pacing near the entrance, phone pressed to his ear with desperate urgency. I didn't answer. Not yet. 28 years of loving him had led to this moment. 28 years of believing that sacrifice would build character instead of entitlement. He was 4 when his mother left us. She decided motherhood wasn't the adventure she'd expected. packed her bags one Tuesday morning, and never looked back. Marcus cried for her every night, for 6 months. "Daddy, will you read me another story?" he'd asked at age 6, curled against my chest in his Batman pajamas. I'd already read 3 books, had an early morning meeting with important clients, but his brown eyes held such trust. "Of course, buddy. Daddy always has time for you." That became my motto. Thomas Wright always had time for Marcus, always had money, always had whatever his son needed to be happy and successful. Private school tuition consumed most of my quarterly bonuses when he turned 7. The best education money could buy, I told myself, writing checks that meant fewer personal luxuries. Marcus hugged me when I told him about Westbrook Academy. "Thanks, Dad. I'll study really hard and make you proud." He did study hard. Straight A's through elementary school. School plays where I sat in the front row, my work-calloused hands applauding louder than any other parent. High school changed things. Westbrook Academy meant wealthy classmates with trust funds and vacation homes. Marcus started noticing differences between his life and theirs. His 16th birthday party cost more than some people's cars. Catered dinner, DJ, decorations that transformed our modest house into something from a magazine. "Everyone else got new cars, Dad. This used Honda is kind of embarrassing." That was 2012. The first time money became expected rather than appreciated. I should have recognized the warning sign. Instead, I bought him a newer car. College expenses nearly destroyed my retirement savings. Northwestern University required sacrifice that went beyond tuition. Fraternity dues, spring break trips, study abroad programs. Each semester brought new financial demands. "Dad, I need $2,000 for the business club conference. It's essential for networking." Phone calls became transaction requests. Visits home decreased to holidays only. Graduate school brought Vanessa into his life. Old money, family connections, everything I couldn't provide despite decades of hard work. Marcus started making comments about my appearance at family gatherings. "Could you maybe wear something nicer when you visit? Vanessa's friends will be there." The man who once thanked me for bedtime stories was now embarrassed by the man who'd provided everything he'd ever wanted. Success in accounting meant nothing to his new social circle. Last Christmas, he'd introduced me to Vanessa's parents as Marcus's father, who runs a small firm. Small firm. 26 years of building Wright Financial Services from nothing, serving 60 clients, earning enough to support his lifestyle, reduced to small firm. "Dad, we need to talk about wedding funding." Marcus had called 3 months ago. "Vanessa's family has certain expectations for the ceremony. Not thank you for offering to help. Not we'd be grateful for your contribution. Just expectations, as if my life's work existed solely to meet his social requirements." The wedding planning meetings felt like business negotiations. Marcus brought spreadsheets. Vanessa offered opinions about cost efficiency. Neither acknowledged that every line item represented months of my labor. My calculator showed $710,000, nearly $750,000 spent gradually over 28 years. Each expense seemed reasonable in isolation. Private school was an investment in his future. College opened doors. A reliable car ensured safety. Nice clothes built confidence. The wedding celebrated love. But the pattern told a different story. Marcus had never contributed a single dollar to his own support. Never held a job longer than necessary to impress Vanessa. Never expressed concern about costs or gratitude for sacrifices. I opened the photo albums I'd maintained through his childhood. Marcus at 7, gap-toothed and glowing after his first school play. "Thanks for coming, Dad. Did you see how loud everyone clapped?" Marcus at 11, triumphant after winning the spelling bee. "I thought about you when I was nervous, and it helped me remember the words." When had he stopped seeing me as a person worth thanking? When had I become merely a source of funding for his ambitions? Sunday morning, I drove to Harrison & Associates, the law firm I'd used for business contracts. Philip Harrison himself met me in the conference room, his silver hair and sharp suit projecting competence. "Thomas, I've reviewed your preliminary documentation. This level of record-keeping is exceptional." He spread my folders across the polished table. Each page represented months of Marcus's lifestyle, funded by my sacrifice. The total amount involved, $710,000 over 28 years. That's substantial even by our standards. I want this handled professionally, I said. No emotion, just business. Marcus needs to understand the financial reality of what he's taken for granted. Philip nodded, making notes on a yellow legal pad. The documentation supports gift reclassification. Given the pattern of escalating demands without reciprocal responsibility, we have multiple recovery options. He outlined the strategy with precision. Formal demand letter requesting repayment within 30 days. Detailed accounting with supporting evidence. Clear timeline for response. Professional consequences for noncompliance. By noon, the documents were prepared. Official letterhead, formal language, serious implications. The demand was simple. $710,000 repayment within 30 days, or legal proceedings would commence. We'll arrange courier delivery this afternoon. Signature required. I drove home with copies of everything. Marcus had created this situation through years of entitlement. I was simply providing the consequences he'd never faced. At exactly 3:15, my phone rang. The courier service confirming delivery to Marcus's apartment. Signed receipt by Marcus Wright. The formal process had begun. I imagined his confusion when the doorbell rang. His assumption it was wedding-related paperwork. Opening the envelope casually, then reading. Comprehension dawning slowly. The phone started ringing at 3:47. Marcus's name flashing repeatedly on my screen. I let each call go to voicemail. Message 1. Dad, what is this legal document? This can't be serious. Message 2. 700,000? That's impossible. You never said these were loans. Message 3. Please call back. Vanessa is asking questions I can't answer. Message 4, his voice breaking. I don't understand how everything went so wrong so fast. At his apartment, Marcus and Vanessa were discovering what accountability looked like when backed by legal authority. By Monday evening, Marcus had left 12 voicemails, each one more desperate than the last. The man who dismissed me from his wedding was beginning to comprehend what he'd actually dismissed. Tuesday brought different messages. Dad, I've been calling family and friends. Everyone is shocked by the amount. Nobody can help with this. Then another. Uncle Kenneth won't take my calls. Aunt Patricia said I should learn responsibility. What does that even mean? The messages continue through the week. His college roommate was uncomfortable with the conversation. His fraternity brothers were surprised he'd never worked seriously. His few remaining friends were unable to help with such amounts. Vanessa was having her own problems. Her mother had apparently called demanding explanations. Her father wanted a family meeting about reputation damage. Her brother was asking pointed questions about financial disclosure before marriage. Friday's message was shorter. Dad, Vanessa's family is pressuring her to consider annulment. They think our marriage was based on financial deception. Please call me so we can work this out. I almost smiled. The Patterson family was faster at recognizing reality than their daughter had been. The following Wednesday's message carried new desperation. Nobody will help. Everyone has excuses. Vanessa barely speaks to me. Her parents want her to see a lawyer about protecting her assets. 23 days remaining on the legal deadline. Marcus was learning what financial independence actually meant when you'd never developed skills to achieve it. Thursday morning brought silence. No text messages. No desperate voicemails. Just unusual quiet that made me check my phone twice to ensure it was working. Then Thursday evening, my doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Marcus standing on my porch. His expensive suit looked rumpled. His eyes were red-rimmed. I opened the door, but didn't invite him inside. We stood facing each other across the threshold like strangers. Dad, I'm sorry. The words came out broken, barely above a whisper. I've spent 3 weeks trying to fix this, and I can't. Nobody will help me. I have $21,000 in savings. That's all I have. What about Vanessa? I asked. She left yesterday. Her father convinced her that staying married to me would damage her reputation. His voice cracked. I lost everything. My wife, my dignity, my friends. All because I was too stupid and selfish to appreciate what I had. I studied his face. Really looked at him for the first time in years. Not the entitled young man who dismissed me, but someone genuinely broken by consequences. Come inside, Marcus. We need to talk. We sat in my kitchen, the same table where I'd helped him with homework 20 years ago. Coffee steamed between us, creating a small moment of normalcy. I've been thinking about Mom this week, Marcus said quietly. How she just left without looking back. I treated you the same way, didn't I? Took everything and gave nothing. I sipped my coffee, letting him continue. The wedding was supposed to impress Vanessa's family. I thought if they saw this big expensive event, they'd accept me. Instead, I threw away the one person who actually loved me. He wiped his eyes. $700,000. I can't even imagine working hard enough to earn that much, and you just gave it to me without asking for anything back. I asked for respect, I said. For appreciation. For you to remember that I was a person, not just a wallet. I know that now. I know it's too late, but I needed you to hear it. You deserve better than what I gave you. I pulled out the legal documents and set them on the table. Marcus looked at them with resignation, probably expecting me to demand immediate payment. Instead, I picked them up and walked to my paper shredder. The machine whirred as I fed each page through, destroying the demand letter, the payment schedule, all of it. Dad, what are you doing? Teaching you that love isn't about keeping score, but it is about learning from consequences. I sat back down. You can't pay me back $700,000, but you can pay forward what you've learned. Get a real job. Build something yourself. Appreciate people who sacrifice for you. That's worth more than money. Marcus broke down completely. Years of entitlement cracking under the weight of genuine gratitude. Thank you. I don't deserve this, but thank you. No, you don't deserve it. But everyone deserves one chance to grow up, even at 28. I squeezed his shoulder. I've always loved you, Marcus. Now I want to see if I can respect you too. We sat in that kitchen for hours, father and son, rebuilding what had been broken. The money was gone, but something more valuable remained. The possibility of becoming family again, built not on transactions, but on mutual respect. Outside, evening settled over the neighborhood. Inside, we were finally beginning to understand what it meant to value each other. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. Thank you for watching.